Chat, here we go. It's a rematch. A rematch of Chronic and Joreuz. And you might be asking yourselves, a rematch? Wait a second. I don't know if I've seen these guys play before. And that would mean you're revealing that you are not a 1v1 head. Because 4 years ago, to this very exact day, February 27th, Chronic and Joreuz played in a cross-server show match. And as is tradition, just like the Olympics, every 4 years, we have the Chronic versus Joreuz match. So we are back for the next edition, and this time, fortunately for us, they are playing on USC servers together. It is no longer a high ping matchup where they bounce back and forth. It is 28 ping to 38 ping with the RLCS Fall Major Champion and the RLCS Regional Champion. This guy's trying to flex. But we'll see. Last time around, it was a Joreuz win. It was a Joreuz 3-1 win 4 years ago. And so Chronic has a chance to tie the series back up before the next 4-year bouts that will happen in 2028, in which one of them will be able to win the best of 3. Or maybe Joreuz wins again and denies Chronic the chance to win 4 years from now. We'll have to see. Chronic is going to start up 2-0 and will take the skies off the sidewall again, something that he loves to farm. We just watched Diaz, who actually almost more than the sidewall dribble. He likes the complete back wall dribble. As Joreuz is going to try and make it confusing for us by playing in a blue decal on the orange team. Chronic will boom this shot in and make it 3-0. Both these guys trying their best to qualify for Copenhagen, the RLCS Major, coming up this weekend. Now, Genji Mobile 1 certainly in a better position to do it than Joreuz's M80, as they sit with the second most points in the region, and top 4 will be making it. Joreuz's M80 reside at number 5 and tied for number 5 at that, so they are amidst a ton of teams that could run away with it. Personally, I have M80. You could argue I'm biased because M80 will be playing their Swiss matches here on this stream, twitch.tv/Feer. If you guys are from YouTube and didn't know, we've been covering M80's matches. And it's going to be a huge Swiss stage. A Swiss stage that has actually involved Joreuz's team beating Chronic's team both times in the last 2 Swiss stages. M80 and Genji have played each other, and that has gone in M80's favor. The problem is that M80 have not been able to clutch up and make it past that top 8 round, whereas Genji have, as Joreuz trying to get on the board, and he will, after following up his fake attempt here. Joreuz kickoff possession that he is going to play straight to the nets, waiting till he got a clean carry to get power on the flick, and he's just going to boom it directly at Chronic. One of the benefits of sending a shot at defender, either A, they might move out of their position as they start to try and get momentum into their save, and you might be able to snipe it behind them. Or B, they don't have any momentum when they make the save. They have to make a very grounded standstill save, one that oftentimes means you can keep the possession going if they do happen to get it. Maybe that's what Joreuz is going for there. Chronic is going to go for an air dribble and go underneath as he has a 5-1 lead. If you look at the RL Duels leaderboard, which is an ELO rating that tracks show matches between the top players, I do think Joreuz finds himself in the top 10 right now. Chronic a little bit on the outside looking in, maybe because of poor performances at the end of Salt Mine. I can't remember how Salt Mine ended for him, but certainly RL Duels ELO is really only a tool for 1v1 viewers to get a general idea. I think we all know that a Chronic Joreuz matchup is very likely to be a close one, regardless of what their ELO ratings might suggest. As Chronic kind of got a lackluster flick there to end that possession. A minute 45 for Joreuz to work it back. And it's not going to be easy to score with the ball on the wall this deep in Chronic's half. Joreuz elects to try and cut it off the side wall and make a dribble out of it. Never really got anything going. He's going to pre-jump Chronic, who instead of taking the dribble Brings the ball down on top of his car and instead starts the dribble from a double jump pop, looking for a pin off the backboard. And even though he didn't get it, he did get a follow-up. He was hoping Joreuz was maybe going to flip past on the follow-up. Joreuz did not. Credit to him to make that save, but he needs more than saves right now as he falls from the ceiling. Chronic has a reset, gets back to the ball, using that flick, and then snipes it top shelf. Chronic. I talk about that, the freestyler's flick, that soft, musty, to keep the ball in your control. Chronic is a guy who doesn't use it very often, so I think very intentionally using it here to just keep his dribble over the top of Joreuz's pre-jump, which is great thinking. And now, double reset bump will connect for Joreuz, so gets a second goal, but it's probably a little bit too late with 50 seconds on the clock. He's going to need kickoff antics probably if he wants to come back, and he just took a regular kickoff that Chronic wins. Chronic pinches one to the ceiling though. Joreuz won't be able to get back. Chronic wants maybe the full field counterattack with the Psycho, but that's not what he got. Time will wind down here. Joreuz has been able to maybe equalize late, although as I say that, he allows Chronic to score. He is going to go next. I do think this has been a tough game one for Joreuz. And a good side for Chronic, who lost the matchup those 4 years ago. He's going to start off 1-0. Game number 2. The offense has been all Chronic. Joreuz is only able to find a couple. Immediately at the start of game 2, he gets another ball to air dribble. Joreuz challenging from the ceiling, is able to intercept it, and is wise to hold on to his boost here instead of trying to make something out of that possession. But he didn't realize how panicked he should be here. He's taking the ball back to his half. Chronic's on 0 boost. He thought surely Chronic is leaving, and I'm going to be able to just reset possession here in my back corner with no worries. But he's wrong. Chronic on very little to no boost decides to stick with it and basically forced Joreuz to retreat back to his half with much more control than he did. Nice hook shot. Never goes out of style as Joreuz ties the game early. Chronic off the side wall. Joreuz is going to try and react. It's a double from Chronic, and it is a smooth shot from him. The first touch is straight out to the midfield and not towards the net, which leaves a ton of separation between himself and Joreuz, and it makes the read very hard for the M80 player. He tries his best to pre-jump, but Chronic just goes over the top. That's a 2-1 lead. Now Chronic off the sidewall has a reset wave dash in the bottom right corner. Is going to try and see if he can beat Joreuz here. Bit of a risky play. Although he did get... Oh, did he just pogo to dodge a demo and pick up the back corner boost? Oh, man. That is such great thinking from Chronic. Showing yet another way to use a pogo as it gets him a strong bounce. Joreuz is still going to score, though. But what a great play from Chronic. Joreuz was swinging through the landing position to get that demo. Chronic was trying to retreat to the corner for boost. He's won this kickoff, put himself right back in the lead. Save that spot? Yeah, we'll watch it again. We saved it a little bit off, but we definitely go back and show the pogo to dodge the demo. Joreuz wants to take this ball to the side wall, but Chronic is showing that he will not allow that. If Joreuz does try to do that, he'll challenge him and very likely take the ball away, considering he'll have a good angle. Joreuz having to kind of rotate back to get that midfield if he was going to do it, so instead he just turned in field. Now Chronic wanted the double, didn't get it. Joreuz slow playing this. He's maybe hoping for Chronic to panic, but Chronic has been good in nets, and this is going to be really tough to turn around for Joreuz. But he actually did a decent job of it. I mean, anything that wasn't just him getting scored on there, I would say is a solid ending. Double reset for Chronic as Joreuz gets the save and should get the open net here to tie the game. Joreuz wins this kickoff to the side wall, will rise to meet it to stop its fall. Chronic able to react to the shot in nets. Joreuz again starting a dribble with the ball, headed to his own half, but this one is done with pure control. Only took a couple touches before he's headed back the other way. Gets the reset for the finish, and Chronic had come to a complete halt. Not able to make that save. Joreuz has all the boost and will pre-jump this save. Chronic got to get himself demoed. Now what can Joreuz do with that? He'll just touch it in field and pin it on the opposite post to guarantee the goal. It's not completely a foregone conclusion, but it basically feels like it with players this talented. Once they have a demo, I mean, it's not easy to get the ball to the net, but Joreuz made it seem that way. Is now Chronic backing off his dribble, heads to the ground. Joreuz able to take it away, likely to undercut this ball, and he does as he goes to ceiling heights. Flipping behind the ball, will just front flip it at the back wall. Had to have been hoping that was going to go underneath the crossbar because he had no follow-up, so no way was he hoping he'd hit back wall. Chronic. This is one of the things we've seen the most on our channel. We've had Chronic, Evo, Daniel, probably the three players who have played the most 1v1s. And the three players who love the kickoff win to the side wall into the wall to air dribble. So we have seen it many times from Chronic as Joreuz again leans back for the reset into the flick. Not a play that often gets enough power to score at distance like Joreuz is trying to, but this time he threatens it. He's shown that he'll flick that many times, so Chronic has to respect that flick and looks to react to the bounce a little bit too late. Bro snuck in Daniel. Daniel has played, he played most of them, a long time ago, but I think Daniel is in the top 3 of most played series. I think it goes Evo number 1, and then it might even be Daniel number 2 with Chronic at 3. But those guys have been around the channel for a long time, so I appreciate them giving me the time of day ever since the very beginning to play in these matches. As Chronic, they have to try and find a way to make up 2 goals with 50 seconds here. Another dribble starting from a carry. Who wants to bump Joreuz? He does! And he almost saves it himself, but he does still guide it in. As Joreuz just watched this dribble happen and never even seemed to think about jumping. Gets himself landed on. Joreuz pre-flipping to the corner, grabbed the boost. That is a huge boost steal indeed. Maybe enough to end the game, as it should be a while now before Chronic is able to earn possession back. I don't doubt that he could, but by the time he has boost and has a real chance of taking it away from Joreuz, he's going to have very little time left. He wants the full field double. Doesn't get it. Joreuz to the back wall. Needs to be careful here. He needs to not leave an opportunity for Chronic to get the ball. So if he had missed that wide or missed it high and allowed Chronic to counterattack, that would have been very, very bad news. But he did control it just enough. It is still going to be one last opportunity for Chronic. Joreuz thought about pre-jumping it. Did convince Chronic to take it to the ground, but pre-jumped again. He immediately got back up because he has noticed what Chronic has done and even pogoed there late to pop the ball away from Chronic's control. A great finish from Joreuz to tie the series 1-1. Game number 3. We had a feeling we were in for a good matchup. Chronic maybe seemed like it wasn't going to be in game number 1. But Joreuz did well to get and keep a lead in game 2. And he will, actually just misses high on the double. The double should have been a goal. He's going to say, whoops. Yeah, it was, a free opportunity for a guy like Joreuz. Instead, he allows Chronic to get this pre-flip. This is a really good pre-flip, too. I mean, I want to give Chronic credit for the counterattack. Joreuz almost prevented that. But really what it comes down to was the missed double. Chronic going to take this to the back corner. Joreuz from the ceiling actually will intercept it and just scores off of it. You can see Chronic not really sure if Joreuz is going to have to leave. In the moment when somebody is falling off the ceiling, they can oftentimes be awkward and, you know, not be able to make a play on the ball. But in this case, Joreuz did. And Chronic just sat and waited. Eventually got the ball scored in his net. He didn't want to go up in 50 up there, as that's not likely to work out well for him. So that's why he was sitting there waiting and why he wasn't just retreating to net. Joreuz reset shot off the kickoff. Oh, a little flexing. Wait, I kind of want to show the celebration again. The shot was fine. We got to switch to Joreuz's perspective. Look at the little ceiling dashing. Chronic's pogo bump dodge was at exactly 4:08 at game 2. All right, yeah, you got to remind me once the series is over so we can go back and watch it again. Chronic. Wall to air dribble off the side wall. I mean, you got to prevent these situations as much as possible. Joreuz just scored the same way. But is there anyone more prolific than Chronic at those plays? Might be a couple people who are maybe tied with Chronic, but he is very effective from there. Chronic headed to the back corner now. Joreuz wanted the midfield boost, didn't spawn. Spawned directly after. Chronic has really not minded slowing down these dribbles when he sees Joreuz shadowing or pre-jumping. Puts the ball on top of his car and looks to set up an air dribble. That time around, though, that first touch was poor. Forced him to reset. Now he's got another opportunity, and the double is clean. Joreuz challenging early, and Chronic just pops it so well off the back wall. You didn't receive a notification from Twitch, even though you have now. You just joined. Yeah, YouTube. I guess I could have tweeted again. I forgot to tweet again, but I did tweet yesterday when the matches were going to start. So I guess you could always set a reminder, but I could also tweet it again. I usually do tweet shortly before going live, and I think those notifications are a little bit more reliable. You also just have to deal with my RLCS opinions at times showing up as notifications as well. But who wouldn't want that, you know? Chronic somehow is able to flick this ball up without it touching the ceiling to make the perfect dribble. It kisses the top of the arena, and he recollects it here before the reset shot on the goal line. I mean, it's just art when Chronic goes to work. Chronic going to delay this before going for a 50. And now we'll play out of the attacking corner. Something that's not a big issue for him either, although he can't get the multiple resets. And Joreuz will escape for what should be a goal. Oh, he just barely missed it. Inside the post. Chronic given a gift. And Joreuz undercut. It wasn't the freest of open nets ever, but I'm sure if you asked Joreuz, he would consider it an open net miss. He's going to send this one to the ceiling. Turned off ball cam to go grab boost, and maybe didn't have the read quick enough. There was a chance to probably double it off the back wall, but not with the way Joreuz set it up. What's your opinion on Wild? I think I saw a couple Wild players playing some 1v1s on Hootie Hoos today. And that was a very exciting 1v1 from what I could tell. I would recommend checking them out. Chronic's going to intercept Joreuz's dribble and uses the last bit of boost to put it towards the net. Chronic chasing Joreuz off the ball, but ends up popping it to him for a solid setup. Joreuz ground pinch, actually put it directly on Chronic. He had the power, And now he needs to try and stay on offense. Chronic actually deciding to leave the ball, which is rare, I would say. A lot of 1v1 defenders in these situations, even on only 20 boosts is what he had, they try and close the distance and make it really hard for Joreuz to get a clean touch around the ball. When the offensive player is headed away from the net, it's not easy to cleanly collect the ball and turn back on offense, especially if someone's right behind you putting that pressure on you. Chronic decides not to do that. Instead, prioritize getting 100 boost. Leaves and allows Joreuz to set up his own offense, and he does score with it. Now Chronic will score to re-extend the lead. Just a delayed flick made it seem like maybe he was going to go back down to the ground before finally using the flick. Joreuz getting physical off the kickoff. Chronic able to deal with it. He'll send this one out to midfield, but only has 8 boost. And now only has a couple pads. Joreuz. Oh, the no-look! Joreuz just needed to hit the double quickly, and there was nothing that Chronic could do with how little boost he had. And so Joreuz said, why not? Why not hit him with the no-look? Smooth shot from Joreuz. No-look down 3. I mean, he knew that one was in. So no reason not to go for it. And he's got a minute to make up 2. Not impossible. He actually undercut Chronic here, preventing him from stealing the corner boost, giving Joreuz a possession that actually has mirrored what Chronic has done often, which is play that carry. This time, Joreuz does not go for the air dribble with it. Instead, he fakes that early shot, gets Chronic in the air, and then plays the low 50. And now he's within 1 with 41 seconds, more than enough time, especially if he were to win first possession in ones. You can sometimes hold on to possession for a really long time and maybe even prevent someone from getting a shot attempt in a full minute, but Joreuz, it took him seconds to get his shot attempt. And now he's got a tie game. Joreuz vying with Chronic at the midfield, and he got his corner boost like he was trying to get, but Chronic gets the lead. The much more important thing, he only needed a couple pads to set up that power shot. Now Joreuz finds himself in a familiar position, a position he was in earlier. It took him only 2 seconds, it would seem, to get the goal. This time, that recovery is not it, and a recovery that basically ends the game. Joreuz needed, if he was going to lose this 50, to land immediately on the back wall and jump off of it, but if he's going to just be bouncing around with no wheels on the ground, he doesn't stand a chance. So Chronic likely to take a 2-1 series lead. Look at this shot. It's going to get saved. It's still very impressive. Actually, wait a second. I did say likely. To be fair, I did say likely to take the series lead. But Joreuz has a chance here with 2 seconds. Will he delay the kickoff? So many people do, but no, he actually just tried to go for a wave dash kickoff. Was hoping for a quick recovery to the ball. Chronic wins it heavy. So it will not be a repeat of the scoreline the last time these guys played, as Chronic takes a 2-1 lead. It cannot finish 3-1 in favor of Joreuz. The most dangerous position to get Joreuz in, if you have watched and played 1v1 before, is down 2-1. For some reason, this just feels like an auto win for Joreuz at times. He turns on the turbojets, the secret engines, whatever it is, he somehow finds a way to come back in every one of these series, but Chronic is trying to change the narrative. He's trying to make it equal games across these guys. If he was able to win 3-1 here, that's such a great shot. A late flick. If he does win 3-1, then these guys will be tied all-time in game wins 4-4. As that's a mirror of the way Joreuz won 4 years ago, and then we'll have to wait another 4 years to see how it finishes. But like I said, never a scarier place to have Joreuz than up 2-1. Back in this, thank you for the 2-1 for 25 months. Appreciate you. Joreuz does not want to use much boost here to gain control of the ball. You're going to see him trying to save it all, and for this reason right here. He had the 48 to maybe escape. Although Chronic did find a way to keep himself on offense. Joreuz will pinch this one to bounce in field. If he had a lot of boost, it'd be really dangerous. He has only a pad, but he reads the early challenge and might have almost flicked it too high, but he will get back around the ball. Joreuz kickoff loss. Chronic actually doesn't have time to grab boost though, so he's got to play on very little, and it doesn't matter. He pops the ball over the top of Joreuz, and he just never backed down. Full confidence despite not having boost. I mean, you see a high pop like that for somebody who's rocking 10 boosts, that could be a nightmare. But instead of panicking, Chronic knew his only way out was actually to go all in and just use that bit of boost on a double jump. Something that if Joreuz were able to get any sort of contact on, he'd very likely counterattack with. But Chronic got it over the top and scored. Joreuz interception on the multiple reset dribble from Chronic, and we'll tie this game up. Chronic wall to air dribble, reset into the top right. Joreuz somehow kept it out as they slammed into the woodwork together. And now Chronic will start again. This first touch or start of the dribble is about as poor of a dribble start I could ever see, but I am surprised over and over again by these guys as they find ways to turn what look like terrible setups into goals. Nice. Wait, no, Chronic, he owned goal. I was going to say nice demo to stop this shot, but in the process, he owned goal. I want to see if there's any way he could have gotten around it. He pre-flip demoed. Oh, Joreuz. No, it has blue trail, so it is Chronic touch. Pretty quick thinking to go to the wave dash to try and get around it and make the save, but didn't happen. Joreuz will send this one off the backboard, and he just flipped to no man's land. That is, oh, it could have been a free goal for Chronic, but he missed it high. Now Joreuz in and out of the net, makes the save. Joreuz on 6 boost, able to make the high save. Chronic gave him a gift by missing the first shot. Pre-jump from Joreuz gets Chronic back down to the ground, but despite the fact that Joreuz has been doing a good job at pre-jumping and trying to immediately rise back up in the air, he doesn't do it quick enough this time. Chronic even scores the pogo there at the end for the fans. Joreuz into the back corner. Chronic plays it down for possession instead of the shot. Dropped it to himself and now has a better opportunity. He tried to pop it over the top of Joreuz, who might be able to get this touch on target. Didn't get it in the air, but does get it on the ground. Chronic saves it and is in and out of the nets, picking up pads. Joreuz with the high flick, recognizing he doesn't have the time to steal the back corner boost. He needs to prioritize the play, and actually probably realized that even a second too late, as he still allowed Chronic to get the shot. And now air dribble from Joreuz over the top of Chronic. No, Chronic pre-jumps it. Able to dodge the demo and will set up the long shot, but cannot get there in time. Joreuz now on 0. Trying to be careful, does not dive for this 50, stays grounded, and now will make a double jump save on the goal line. Has a chance to pick up a couple pads, but is going to have to deal with a Chronic dribble, who gets a pancake reset on the ceiling. The ground pinch, shoots it just barely wide, and now gets himself demoed. So Chronic unable to finish on that opportunity, and Joreuz actually just a really strong first touch in attempt to beat Chronic to the net. But Chronic does respawn. What an angle from Joreuz. Forces Chronic to make the save off the respawn. It's an awkward landing. Chronic, you know, you have to give him a break, though. He had no choice but to rush the save as quick as possible with no worry about any sort of recovery. And then couldn't get the follow-up on 0 boost. Joreuz denied the opportunity to go up 2, as he will bump Chronic here on the back wall, and Chronic double jumps away from the net, and Joreuz will just score. So Chronic maybe getting faked here. Felt like he needed a double jump, but I think it might have just been super awkward. Maybe needed a backflip. Just got taken out of the right mindset. Joreuz in and out of the net on the save attempt to start the kickoff. And he does get it. Joreuz is the only person I've seen doing that on those far away straight kickoffs, just going directly into the net immediately. And with 30 seconds left and a 2-goal lead, it really feels like Joreuz is once again going to force that game 5 after being down 2-1. Chronic looking for the full field shot. I love it. He tried to pre-flip on the front flip and catch it with the tail end of his flip in order to launch it full field, which is possible, but very improbable. Chronic, though, he's still in this. A double gets him within 1, as Joreuz was maybe thinking about putting on some physical play at the midfield. Couldn't interrupt Chronic, though, and recovered late from far on the side wall. Kickoff super important here for Joreuz. He does get it into the blue half, and he should just let it hit the ground, but he's not going to. He's going to catch it and flick it and score again. I mean, really, he should have just let the ball hit the ground, but he wanted to make it tense for the fans. Joreuz will force a game number 5 as he attempts to once again, for what feels like the millionth time, come back from down in the series. Game 5, Chronic and Joreuz. Joreuz wins game number 4 to force this. And I feel like the most common Joreuz win almost feels like coming back from down 2-1. But can he do it again here? Against the North American in North America. He was able to beat him 4 years ago when they had to play cross-server. Joreuz denied his wave dash kickoff. Chronic has done that many times. He's had really speedy recoveries in order to prevent them, and now he actually has a goal of his own. As Joreuz, I think, had a missed dash or something over here. Yeah, missed dash on the side wall, so then was just pogoing around for fun. That Waffly guy, thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. Are you still doing HelloFresh promo? You're about to run out of groceries? No, it's Factor. Exclamation point Factor is live for a couple more days. Chronic is live right now as he is able to win another kickoff. I'm not sure where Joreuz was going there with that flip to the side wall. Joreuz with a very important kickoff win before this game got out of control. Has the reset. Chronic pre-jumped, went to the back wall, got the save. Chronic, he was up so early and by all means should have been out of the play, but found a way to get back to the back wall and still make a read on the shot. The problem for him, though, is that Joreuz wins this 50 at the midfield. Little ground pinch touch to set up the power shot, and he does get his goal. Joreuz, that was had to have been a wave dash attempt. Well, I don't know why he missed it. He just, maybe he didn't want to do it, but just a little double jump, a cheeky low double jump. Wait, he didn't realize. Okay, he's going to get there. That it was off target. Almost allowed Chronic to get back to it. Chronic, wall to air dribble. Gonna go to what looked like he was planning on going to the back wall to double it. When he saw Joreuz going up the side wall to challenge, he put power behind the ball in order to make it so that Joreuz was on the wrong side of the play as quick as possible, and you could tell Joreuz was really nowhere around it. And it doesn't mean Joreuz's pre-jump is, you know, as poor as it looked. You really do have to credit Chronic. A lot of players don't have the ability to adjust to what they see the defender doing. They just go into their robot mode, their free play double reset that they practiced 1,000 times, the kind of reset that would actually be perfect for Joreuz's pre-jump. Instead, Chronic has the improvisation ability to boom the ball as soon as he sees that that's the best thing for him. He's got a 3-goal lead still as he tries to chase Joreuz down, doesn't get the demo, and now Joreuz should be able to score this, as there's no way Chronic could get back around the play. Wave dash kickoff for, I think, both these guys, but Joreuz couldn't find a way to use his dash. Chronic actually just barely getting down, it seems like, to be able to use his. Still a ton of time on the clock for Joreuz to make back up the ground. Chronic shadowing and then started to reverse slightly. I think that reverse was enough of a fake for Joreuz to look to flick over the top of a reverse challenge, one that actually never came. So great defense there by Chronic to force that out of him. Joreuz now to the ground. The wave dash catch in the 50. Smart to not shoot it immediately, as that might have been the only way that Chronic would get the save. Instead, he recognized Chronic was going to be awkward there on the back wall, not likely to be able to win a challenge. Joreuz backing off despite forcing the kickoff into the blue half. Sometimes players try and play that on low boost because, like I said, it's so awkward to gain clean control of the ball. But Joreuz says, no, I'd rather have 100 boost. I'll let Chronic go to work, and that ends up being a mistake. So, you look back now, and it's obvious that maybe it would be better to try and see what you could get going with just pads and staying aggressive. But it's, of course, very easy to say in retrospect when you see him get scored on immediately otherwise. I'm sure there's been many times where that's not how it's gone down. Joreuz is going to lose his kickoff directly into his net, and this is not a good sign for him. He cannot keep losing these if he wants to bring it all the way back. But he's got half the game 5 left to do it. And it wouldn't be a Joreuz match if it wasn't both the comeback in the series and in the game, as he will boom this one as he saw Chronic out of position, just barely missed wide. And so no payoff. Chronic going to back off as Joreuz takes it to the ceiling. Perfect position for Joreuz with the ball. So much to threaten. And this time, he just protects it. He holds on for a 50. He was prepared for this ball to get contact. Actually looks like they slowed down. I'm not sure if Chronic got any touch, but even if he did, Joreuz was there prepared. Now Joreuz on 17 boost. Pops it up. Forces Chronic to try and make a save and control on the back wall. Something that's not easy to do, as proven by the fact that Chronic misses. And now Joreuz has a very low boost defender. But Chronic does well to get himself out to the midfield. He actually goes for the immediate shot, so he'll be recovering. Now Joreuz the pinch! Can he catch him out of position? He can't. Chronic had no boost, so there was a chance maybe that instead of protecting the net, he had gone out of his way to get 100. But maybe he kept ball cam on and saw Joreuz setting up the pinch, so he knew he needed to be prepared. Joreuz takes to the skies, has the reset, has to use it if he wants to score. Or can play the low 50 in the fake. Joreuz has faked on the goal line a few times now and brings it within 1. Chronic in and out of the nets. Only got the tail end of his car in the first save, and on the recovery got nothing. Chronic a huge kickoff win. One that he is so effective at converting. One of the big things that used to plague Chronic was the fact that he would actually hand away a goal or two on those sidewall dribbles, but that has not been a problem in this series. Even when he hasn't converted, it seems like he just finds a way to keep possession like he did here and then finds another way to score. Joreuz calculating, it would seem, as he slowly rolls to the midfield boost, trying to decide how he can score a ball that's not easy to score. And this was a really poor rotation from Joreuz. He is looking like a lot of us out here as he decides to turn away from the play and seems like almost doesn't even use any power slide, just take a huge U-turn. Obviously a half flip or something to get back into play quicker would have been better. So 10-7, 3 goals that Joreuz is going to have to make up. Chronic takes a big dribble, nowhere near the nets really ever, but importantly doesn't give up control of the ball and wastes precious time. Joreuz has the possession he needed. He missed his dash, and that dash might end the series, which is crazy to say. He needed that, and his chances were still alive. If he lands this dash, gets his possession going, and maybe scores, he could go from there to get 2 more, but giving it up means he definitely cannot, which means it is now time for Chronic to drop the pogo. The celebratory pogo, as is tradition. I'm not sure Chronic has played since pogo has become tradition. Let's see what he has for us. I'm not sure he got that reset there. Thanks for playing, Joreuz. Chronic? Oh, he's not going to try again. He says sorry. He didn't have the pogo. GG's! Shout out Chronic. He wins it in Game 5. And the series all time is now 1-1 between the two. I'll see you guys on February 27th, 2028. Was it this recovery? Yeah, this was it right here. The little pogo dodge, dude. That's crazy. Chronic sees Joreuz, who is coming to demo him. And instead of landing clean right here and just getting himself demoed, which Joreuz is turning in for, Chronic hits the pogo, pops up over the top of Joreuz, dodges the demo, and then picks up the 100. I mean, it doesn't get smoother than that. It doesn't get smoother than that. I'll let you guys see it again if you guys joined late. Here's the full speed. Taps us to the corner, and then Poe goes to dodge the demo, picks up the 100. Let's watch it from Joreuz's perspective. We thought for sure he's getting a demo, I bet. Oh, that's so... Joreuz scores shortly after, which is too bad. But, I mean, Chronic has a great possession here. He ended that possession. So, pretty nutty. Pretty nutty from Chronic. One more time for the fans. The pogo dodge. You love to see it.